One of the more fascinating aspects of Smash Bros. Is the innate territorial allegiances that players pledge to their respective region. Here in the US, back in the day, you had East Coast, you had West Coast. There was always some in between. Some time passed, and now there are far more known regions. East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, MDVA, Florida, NorCal, SoCal, Georgia. There are many that are probably upset that aren't being mentioned. Every region deserves their flowers. However, this one, these region rivalries were much bigger back then than they are now. However, even nowadays, despite not always being on the forefront, regions are always mentioned.
Like you said, one of the best Aegis players in the tri-state area going up against
Mercury versus Selcha are going to be our players coming up here. Mercury, one of the biggest rising talents out of the Philly area. You know, man, so is Daybreak. This is a player who's not to be slept on. One of the best in all of Michigan.
So the sense of territorial pride still lingers in the air, especially in tri-state.
Gets back, rolls behind him.
There's Mr. E bringing Team Wolf to their last man standing!
If you think I'm just jumping to conclusions here, I think the best way to phrase it is basically like this. Nobody at a tournament is going to go talk trash on you for coming from a different region. But they are going to be noticeably more happy if a player from their region wins, especially if their favorite top player is already knocked out. Just look at this clip of Ouch winning a set in Battle of BC4.
Oh, damn.
Ouch defeats! Ouch defeats!
Damn.
Oh my God!
There's something in the air in the Smash community. Think about just back to MomoCon. We had another in-region killer move to that later portion of bracket with Didi. If this is the trend that the Smash community is working towards, I'm with it. I want to see more local homies do some damage.
All this to say that the East Coast tournament Let's Make Moves, then named Let's Make Big Moves, then named Luminosity Makes Big Moves, have all been won by a tri-state native. You may already know this, it's already the new MK Leo is more likely to win down 0-2, but I want to draw some attention to some special moments that have made this possible. Obviously the most credit goes to these people here, as well to the crews behind the scenes that make it all possible. But beyond all this is an unlikely hero, but we'll get there.
As he convert off, this is a solo check! Is that it? Yes!
Just months before COVID, Let's Make Big Moves had more threats coming from Kameme and T. However, the top two players were still tri-state locals, DeBuzz and Nairo, where Nairo would end up beating DeBuzz in grand finals to take the tourney. There is more to this tournament than meets the eye. The years 2020 to 2022 are a bit of a haze for me, especially 2021, so you may have forgotten about this little bugger here. A variant of COVID named Omicron had been rampant during this time, causing fears of spreading the sickness. This had the effect of causing a few DQs, and a couple more. This doesn't include even more top players that didn't register to begin with. I'm assuming that top players like Leo and Spargo had intended to attend Let's Make Big Moves 2022. I don't know if they were actually planning on attending or not, but I gotta think if they're willing to travel to Sandusky, Ohio for Riptide, they would have gone to Tri-State for Let's Make Big Moves. Spoiler for the next couple Let's Make Big Move tourneys, they're all won by Tweak.
So far, Sonic's showing no signs of letting it slip.
Oh, the back air.
Love that back air placement. Not quite enough to kill.
No way.
That's
No
it.
way.
That's how it ends.
However, Tweak was absent and Nairo not competing. This was arguably the most vulnerable the title had been to be taken by a non-tri-state native, with the Buzz being left to defend the home turf.
Brothers and sisters, it's time to bring on.
Something unexpected I uncovered while researching this was that there was a massive EU invasion of players at this tournament. Despite this, the top 8 would end up being all from the US. The biggest threat at this tournament was Cola, a Roy player from Georgia. His playstyle is a complete 180 from the Buzzes. Very rush down, high pressure, and he's not just randomly swinging at Ghost either.
Yeah,
Facts.
it's very clean.
It's definitely not ghost busting. Stop saying that shit.
This now brings us to this player, ChocoTaco.
Everybody thinks I made the name off of the delicious dessert. The dessert is delicious. It is delicious. It's amazing. But that is not why I made the tag. When I went to my first Smash tournament, I was signing up. I'm like, I'm gonna put Chocolate Thunder. But then I started thinking, I'm just like, you know what, this is gonna be kind of lame. Everybody called me Chocolate Thunder except for one person. And he would call me ChocoTaco. So I said, that's catchier than Chocolate Thunder. And that is the lore as to why I am ChocoTaco. It isn't because of the dessert. It is because I was too embarrassed of my original tag. And I said, you know what? Let me not fold.
Lucas from Florida. ChocoTaco met Cola in bracket during the round of 128. And ChocoTaco would beat Cola 3-2. Unfortunately, there's no footage of this match, at least from what I can find. I did find this tweet from ChocoTaco though. This put Cola into a loser's rampage, going through 11 matches, ending 9 of 11 matches in 4 games. Only Quick and Angel was able to force game 5s.
Where you reset the neutral, great stuff to Moxie right there, just to be able to get back to center.
Oh, the hops over the charge shot. Charles, there. Oh, not going to connect the sour spot. The Rage actually made the jab worse, but that...
This is such a tense final situation. He gets a double-edged dodge, and
Cola
he
pops up
on stage.
Cola awaits his grand finals opponent to come out. I said in the beginning that Tri-State defends the house, so you already know who's waiting for him in grand finals. It's Quid, a Pokemon trainer main from Westchester, New York. Quid was seeded 32 for this tournament. Because of that upset that ChocoTaco completed, it caused a Quid-Cola matchup from playing out very early on in bracket. Quid instead would play Moxie and ChocoTaco to make top 16, later playing against Tilde, Send, and Mute Ace, who he had a record losing against all of them at the time to make grand finals. And the kicker of it all, he only dropped one game.
And hold the L! The first loss Quid has suffered at this tournament in singles, coming from a miraculous comeback by the hands of Mute Ace.
Words cannot state how unlikely this run was. These players are all incredible, even relative to the best of the best, especially Mute Ace's Peach, who was on the come-up at the time. You may be wondering what happened to the King of New York. He would fight his way to loser semifinals, where he would fall victim to Cola himself, 3-1. Back to the subject at hand. How did Quid do it? More so, how did he do it so dominantly? PT is not some sort of low or mid-tier surprise skill check. It's not a particularly bad matchup for his bracket opponents. There can be only one answer.
To the last man standing!
This is what Tri-State needed. We talked about it. Mr. E needs to at least 2 stock.
Tri-State. As a pessimist, I'll just say Quid was just having a really good day that time. The dreamer in me wants to say that it was the home field advantage at his back. Even if you believe, though, this Tri-State support would only last for so long.
Number 2, because damn it, that's where we're going.
All right, man. Cola ain't playing right now.
Reset.
It's the reset indeed. He's been looking hot all tournament, but as soon as he got to Cola, bro, that fire burning just a little brighter.
The second set would be a different story.
All right. One thing I'm liking about Quid, doesn't seem like he's deterred despite the reset occurring. Seems like he's still very much on the game. Again, you see one of those.
Wasn't a crazy amount to look at, but hold up, Quid. Oh, wait a minute, that's it.
Again! Uses bracket. since early day one. But he's been fighting, he's been battling. But one more stock chance coming out. The crowd still believes. Deficit be damned. We think he can get the job done now. Right now, a little flower power.
Okay, hold on. Oh, the little movement right there. He was close to catching him with that weight plan.
Oh my God!
It.
He's feeling it. Season up, and there it is in dramatic 3-0 fashion. Your Let's Make Big Moves 2022 champion, that boy Kowinda.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Yo, Quinn came through, said, hey, yo, that boy taking himself to win a big W here. Let's Make Big Moves. I told you, man, he was making hard strides. He's making gigantic advancements, and that's exactly what he did here in this bracket. Taking Let's Make Big Moves 2022.
The man was playing no games, except for the one that mattered, the quit games.
Tweek would go on to defend the house at the next two Let's Make Big Moves tournaments, both of which are incredible showings in their own right. This story as a whole honestly kind of breaks my heart, as I'm a fan of Cola, and coming from the West, I wish we had similar storylines to follow. The point of this series is to essentially spotlight stories or odd tidbits from the Smash scene that I think deserve more attention, or at least a bit of a revisit. I have a couple more ideas and stories in mind as is, but leave a comment about your favorite underrated stories. Thank you for your time and for watching.